Good morning. Market Day Report is on the air. Okay, Market Day and Report. Well, it's days. We're talking markets, and we've got some reports set to come out too. So we're checking all the boxes off. And speaking of the markets, we're up and trading right now. So let's go to the corn market. Overnight action was lower, and we're lower to start the day. 4.19 1/4. That's down a penny and a half. The old crop now has slipped below $4. We're trading in, a 4 1/4 cent trading range, but still in the red across the board. Oh, we did have a flash sale reported. Couple of them overnight. 102,870 metric tons to Mexico, 140,000 metric tons, South Korea. And we got that right today. USDA has not changed that, and China was not listed at all. 142.5 was the flash sale to Mexico for soybeans. 1017 3/4, where we open up, down 6 1/2. Wheat market, let's go to Chicago first. Off 5 1/4, 536 1/4. We're near the bottom of that 8-cent trading range. Hard red trades at 524. That's one tick off the day's low and down 4 1/2. Wheat, Minneapolis, mostly higher. Cotton market, it's mostly lower. Down 15 on the new crop, 68.56. All right, Tommy Grisafi's with Nesvick Trading. Tommy, a lot going on today, but even with some flash sales, market's not moving higher.
No, Tone. We have plenty of grain, and again, I said on the show yesterday, what's happening in corn is a group of experts, farmers. If you're alive, you're allowed to argue and debate it. You don't have to be president to have an opinion about final corn yield. But folks are out there arguing about how big this crop is. And I guess if you were a trader with huge positions on, absolutely, every bushel matters. But right now, for the American farmer, the only bushel that matters is the bushel they're growing in their backyard, what your neighbors or friends are growing. And if you get on the internet, you will find a problem in the United States. And the problem that's being talked about is a little too much rain. And we'll see. We won't know the final tally on that. But overall, in my experience, and I started down at the Board of Trade in 1990, when you're coming into the last weekend of July, with colder temps next week, little plug, I'm going to be at Ag PhD Field Day speaking on Thursday. The high temperature in Baltic, South Dakota is supposed to be 70 degrees next Thursday, and the month is July. That is not burning up a crop. So with adequate moisture, cooler temps during the second half of pollination, expect a decent corn crop here in America. Now, nice to see that demand. We had a little trifecta of some stuff being bought. We have plenty of stuff to sell. What my hope is that we gather some strength here off these lows, see a little buying. But every time I'm on your show or listen to your show, SEP Corn is trading $4, currently trading $3.99 1/2. It is Groundhog Day here at the Board of Trade. Back to you, my friend.
Yeah, and doing all of this within pretty tight ranges. All right, Tommy, hang on. We'll be back in a moment. We'll talk the livestock futures and USDA reports. Market Day Report continues after this. Cattle on feed report set to come out 3 o'clock Eastern time. The average trade estimate for the on-feed number, 99.2. And then we look at placements and marketings, 98 and 96.4. So those are the average trade guesses. We'll also watch for cash cattle to develop today. Right now, the live cattle market in higher territory, 225.95. We've already been above 226 in trade this morning. It's up 15 on the August and the October at 222.52, now up 40 cents. Feeder cattle, well, we're moving higher here, 329.60. We've already rang the bell at 331, actually 331 1/2 on the September. Backing off 15 cents to 330.40, and it's 75 higher on this session. Every contract for feeders, higher territory. Hogs, Well, we're lower right now. August was lower yesterday, and the deferreds were all in higher territory. Everything in the red to start the day today. Let's go back. Tommy Grisafi's with Nesvick Trading reports. What are your thoughts?
You know what? My buddy from the Nesvick office in Memphis, Mark Sigmund, he just sent this story, and I'm going to read it to you. Not the whole story, just the headline. Inflation, recession fears, and the worst cattle shortage in over 70 years haven't dented beef demand. Here's why. They go on to say a pound of ground beef at the grocery store is now $6.12 average in July. But with all that, we're still consuming a lot of beef. We are going to have a report this afternoon. Cattle don't need a report to be busy. Yesterday on the show, we talked about that there was news out of Australia, and we saw a Truth Social post with Donald Trump talking about us exporting beef into Australia. So it gets a little confusing, Tony. We're selling them beef. We're buying beef from them. Who's on first? Who's on third? We're trying to figure it out. The real shortage is we were short anyway, and then closing that border in Mexico just did not help. You stack that up with the United States stock market, that's a lot to say, at all-time highs as we go home this Friday afternoon. If you ask me, the loser in this tariff deal has been the row crops. Stock market's doing fine. Cattle are doing fine. Gold, silver, Bitcoin, all those little flashy things. Silver, almost $40 an ounce, coming off the highs here, $39.50. The grains are the loser here in the tariff deal. Back to you, my friend.
Yeah, Tommy, you know, one other loser here, I think, in this entire discussion comes back to the plant-based proteins. At this point, with high beef prices at the counter, the plant-based proteins are even more expensive than that. So you would think that with the lower commodity prices right now, row crop prices, they could figure out some way to go in, even as a loss leader, and try to pick up some of that market share. It's not happening. Of course, it comes back down to the end of the road. Do you like the way it tastes or not? If you don't like the way it tastes, then it doesn't really matter.
My taste buds rule my world. Nothing beats beef.